Hi everyone, welcome back to Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. My name's Alice and today I'm going to be doing the in or out book tag. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Alice and I have way too many books. I currently have over 200 books on my giant TBR and my channel is mostly about my efforts to get through them. Today I'm going to be doing another tag video and it's the in or out book tag, which was started by Rick MacDonnell. So this tag is quite straightforward. There is a list of 26 different things about books and the idea is to discuss whether I'm in or out, so whether I like or dislike each of these things. So let's get started straight away and attempt to answer the prompts. So the first one is reading the last page first, and I am out. Like, there's literally no chance that I would want to do this. I think people that do this are a bit wrong in the head. Like, why would you want to read the last page first? I know the last page doesn't usually contain necessarily the biggest spoilers, but no, absolutely no. Number 2 is enemies to lovers. I'm not really sure about this one. I think it can work, but it depends how much of an enemy they are. I like the idea of like rivalries or sort of dislike into love, but actual enemies to lovers, I think I'm probably out, but I could be convinced to change my mind. Number 3 is dream sequences. I'm going to be controversial here and I'm going to say that I am in on dream sequences. Definitely not the kind where the book ends and they wake up and it's all a dream. No to that. But the odd dream sequence done well, I'm okay with that. I don't mind that at all. Number 4 is love triangles, and I am in for love triangles. A lot of the books that I've enjoyed in terms of YA fiction involve love triangles. It can be a bit annoying at times, I suppose, but generally, overall, yeah, don't mind a bit of a love triangle, although I do think it can sometimes be a bit overdone or a bit forced. Number 5 is cracked spines. I do read my books quite carefully and try not to crack the spines on purpose, but I don't mind if a spine has been cracked. I like to buy second-hand books, and as long as the spine is not so cracked that the book's falling apart, I would accept it. I like books to be well loved, and if in the course of loving a book a lot the spine becomes a little bit cracked, then so be it. But I think probably what is meant by this is like totally cracked on purpose, and I would not do that. I think you can read a book carefully and not crack the spine, so out generally. 6 is back to my small town trope. Yeah, I don't mind this. I've read some books where I didn't enjoy the back to my small town idea, but overall I am in for this. I think that it's interesting to have characters returning to small towns. 7 is monsters are regular people. I'm going to say out. I prefer monsters to not be regular people, but I mean, I have read a lot of books where monsters like vampires and things have their human sides. I'm okay with it. I don't know. I'm going to go with out, but I'm undecided. And number 8 is no paragraph breaks. Absolutely no. I'm 100% out on this. There's no reason for it. Why make the reading experience harder? Paragraphs are there for a reason. I just find it stops my enjoyment a bit if I've got to really struggle through entire massive blocks of text. But this doesn't annoy me as much as when there's no like speech punctuation. That winds me up more. Number 9 is multi-generational sagas. I'm going to say probably out, but I would like to get into them, if that makes sense. Number 10 is rereading, and I'm definitely in, but I haven't done a lot of it in my time. I think I've mentioned in other videos that the main books that I have reread are sort of children's series such as Harry Potter, such as The Oversea Under Stone, Dark is Rising sequence, and I've started recently to reread Agatha Christie, but I've only reread one so far because I was trying to read them all for the first time first. I've reread many times the Georgia Nicholson series of books by Louise Renison because they make me really happy. Apart from that, I really haven't really reread an awful lot of books. I have reread The End of the World Running Club, which I loved. Yeah, so I'm definitely in for rereading. Number 11 is Artificial Intelligence. In theory, I'm in for this, but I haven't really read many or any books that I can think of off the top of my head that explored artificial intelligence, so in theory in. Number 12, Drop Caps. Yeah, I'm in for these as well. They look pretty cool. Happy with them. Number 13, Happy Endings. Totally in for happy endings. I know it may not seem like it, as I love reading crime, I love reading dystopia, so I'm completely up for ambivalent or sad endings too, but happy endings do make me really smile. Yeah, they can just make you feel really cheerful, so I don't see anything wrong with a happy ending. By having a happy ending, you're not necessarily saying that that character's ending is going to be forever happy. It's just nice to leave a character on a happy note, so, and to feel hopeful about the rest of their story. I like that. Number 14 is plot points that only converge at the end. I'm going to say that I'm in. I'm alright with the plot points converging at the end. I suppose it could be annoying if it's left like right to the very end, but I do like a book that wraps everything up together cleverly, and yeah, I'm in for plot points that converge at the end. Number 15 is detailed magical systems. I'm not sure if I'm in or out with this. I'll explain. So I don't mind a book having a detailed magical system and the author knowing in their mind everything, or on paper even, everything about that magical system, but I do like an element of mystery to the magic as well, so I don't want to be told every single detail of that magical system at the expense of my enjoyment of the book. So I am, I guess, technically in, but I'm out on being told everything about it. I want some of it kept back so that I can speculate myself, I can enjoy a bit of mystery. Magic should be mysterious, definitely. Number 16 is classic fantasy races, such as those in Tolkien. I am in for these, but I don't really read an awful lot of books with these classic fantasy races, I wouldn't say. In fact, I haven't even read Lord of the Rings yet, but in theory, yes, in. Number 17, Unreliable Narrators. Very in. I love a book with an unreliable narrator. I think it's great trope. Number 18 is evil protagonists. Similar to the unreliable narrators, I do quite enjoy an evil protagonist, especially if they are not necessarily all the way evil. I don't necessarily have to relate to my main character, but there does have to be some element of sympathy, I think, so it has to be done right. But for example, I enjoyed reading about the protagonist in Caroline Kepnes's You series, and I love the Dexter books. They have a very evil protagonist. Evil protagonists in The Chosen One is number 19. I'm in for that as well. One of my favourite series is Harry Potter, so how could I not be in on The Chosen One? Yeah, I'm okay with The Chosen One as a thing. I think it can work quite well. I don't want every book that I read to have a chosen one in it, but I don't mind it. Number 20 is when the protagonist dies. I'm going to say that I'm in. It's always very interesting if the protagonist dies sort of midway through a book, or the person you think is going to be the protagonist dies near the beginning of the book. Always fascinating. But I do say this with a caveat, and that is, do not give us a protagonist who tells us the story, is the narrator as well, goes through 2 books of being the narrator, in the trilogy suddenly introduce it so that there's 2 narrators just so that you can kill off the main character. This happened in a series that I read that I think is disliked by a lot of people. I'm not going to mention the series so that I don't spoiler it for people who haven't read it. Those books made me so angry. Very, very angry, and I still haven't got over it, and this was years ago. So in theory I'm in, but in practice there have been occasions where I have not enjoyed this. 21 is really long chapters. I'm out. I like short chapters. I don't see a reason to have really, really long chapters. No, break things up a bit. Like short chapters. 22 is French flaps. I love French flaps on a book. I think it's a really, really lovely style choice. 23 is Deckled Edges. I don't own any books with Deckled Edges, but I don't see anything wrong with them. I'm in on this one too. Number 24 is signed copies by the author. I do own a few signed copies by the author. I think it's more interesting if you have met the author and they've signed your book, but I haven't really done that very much. Yeah, I'm in on signed copies by the author, but I'm not like desperate to get all books signed. I just think it's cool if they are. Number 25 is dog earring pages. I have been guilty of this in the past. When I was young, I definitely used to do this. I do not do it now. I'm out on dog earring pages. It's just not very nice to the book. And number 26, the final one, is chapter titles instead of numbers, and I am again in. Chapter titles instead of numbers, absolutely fine. Sometimes I do forget to read chapter titles, or don't really take them in as I see them, but I'm definitely in on that. It's absolutely fine by me. That was my attempt at the in or out book tag. I think I might be in on most of the things, but definitely no reading the last page. I hope none of you read the last page first. Thanks for watching my attempt at the in or out tag. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave me a comment down below if you agree or disagree with any of my in or out decisions. I hope you'll give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. I make lots of videos about books on a pretty regular basis. I hope you'll join me again soon for another video all about books here on Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. Bye for now.